does pop culture right here on YouTube on the Kingdom of Honor YouTube page, youtube.com/Kingdom of Honor, I suppose it is. I'm your host, Sandman Shane Sabuni, along with my good buddy, the Honorable Jeff. And
Hi.
this week we're going to cover Lock and Key. But as usual, when we try to cover something pop culture or anything for our Patreon channel, I'll say let's watch this show and cover it, and Jeff will say okay, and then I watch it, and then I ask him, did you watch the show? And he says, no, I was too busy with the Arrowverse. So it was like
or
2 months ago that I watched it, and he watched it over the weekend. So his memory's gonna be a lot more fresh than mine is on it. I just want to
or
warn everybody
some
of that to
or
start with.
something comes up, or it's never quite that easy. I did forget though the one time, so that is on me. But guys, if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like button, ring the notification bell, hit the subscribe button because we do live stuff twice a week, and we try to throw one of these up here at least once a month. But what'd you think of it?
Um, First of all, I want to let everybody know what it actually is. So Lock and Key, it originally was a graphic novel series, or actually a comic series by the great Joe Hill, who was the son of Stephen King. And
That
um,
explains a lot more about it now. Now that I know it had some Stephen King influences,
yeah, so
especially the ending.
and I had actually read like the first like 5 or 6 of the comics way back when, but I stopped, like I stopped reading them. I missed a few, and I just had never caught up with it. So I was excited when I saw it was coming on Netflix, and I thought it actually carried over the tone of the comic really well. And I thought it was actually excellent for the first 5 episodes.
I thought it was excellent for the first 9 episodes as well. But now that you
Wait,
mention
did you say 9?
9, I loved it all the way up until that last episode.
Oh, see, I thought we were only covering 5 episodes today, so I didn't watch the other 5.
All right, well, you're gonna have to reel me back then because I watched all 9 of them, or I watched all 10 of them.
Boy, are we in sync.
Oh, I thought we were doing the whole thing since it was only 10 episodes, but let me see, 5 episodes. You talk a little bit. I'm gonna pull it up here so I can.
The 5th episode ends with the principal of the school being, she goes to his house to talk to him, and finds him dead, with her neighbor friend sneaking out underneath the porch silently.
Okay. Lock and Key. Why are they calling it a web television series? It's not a web television series.
Because it's by Netflix. It's not on national broadcast television. It's on a streaming service. So
I
anytime
don't
it's on a
even
streaming service, it's considered to be a web television series.
see, and I don't even consider those um, TV services. I don't. I just consider that TV now. All these streaming services, because they're doing so much of their own, that I just consider them just regular TV at this point. But I guess that does
Ah,
make sense considering it is on the web. So,
yep, exactly. So I
well,
mean that's the thing is like things like Prime TV and Hulu original shows and HBO original shows. Those are all considered web series because they're originally broadcast on over the internet. You
right,
know.
and that makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense. So,
I
okay.
do feel like it's going to be difficult for us to cover this tonight, though, if you've only watched the first 5 episodes, because you're probably going to unintentionally say things that happened that I have totally missed, and
Nope,
I'm not
I've
even going
got
to
it
know what the hell
pulled
you're
up.
talking
I've
about.
got it
So,
pulled up right here, so I'm not going to go past episode 5.
okay.
But it, the tone of the show is great. I loved it. I love the whole magic thing. I love the fact that Nina can't remember. Um, Literally, after she crawls out of the mirror, she can't remember what's going on.
Right.
I love the way that the friendships are forming with people, and things like that. Um, I
One,
actually,
one, one thing that I'm really impressed by is usually like when on a show like this, the youngest, a young kid in the cast is the weak link, and I think Bodhi's been fantastic so far.
I felt
You know,
like Bodhi was the strong point. If
yeah,
anyone was a weak link, well, a weak link wasn't any of the children. Uh, this show could have gone on so much better without mom coming in all the time. because I think her story gets a little different. It doesn't seem to gel with the rest of what's going on in the world. Does that make sense? That I mean, the rest, you've got the kids off on their adventure with these keys. You've got the mom who has no clue what's going on, and all she does is fix up houses. So it almost feels like she's in it a little too much.
Well, she's also providing background to the viewer too about everything that's gone on in the past with her husband, who's also the kid's dad,
Right.
and all that. Without her investigations, we're not going to know any of that stuff.
And without her, Ellie wouldn't have made wouldn't be as big a character either, I guess. And she, being the last sole survivor of all those keeper of the keys, as they were, I guess she did really need to be a big part of it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think the concept is just awesome too. The concept of all these keys that can do with different things. Take you different places, or take inside somebody's mind, or let you be a ghost flying around, let you control people. I mean, it's just a really cool concept.
Yeah, the one that kind of blew me away the most was the head key. I was not expecting that. I was expecting doors. The mirror was a little bit trippy. Even the music box in episode 5 was a little bit out there. But when that head key came out and they stuck it in the back of their head the first time, or when he was at the hardware store and that lock started to appear on the back of that guy's head,
Yep.
that like freaked me out. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I guess there are two people that are still alive. There's the lady in the insane asylum too.
Right. Yeah. No, I knew that, but I just didn't feel like correcting you because I don't
No,
like
feel free
correcting you, Jeff. You know that.
to. Who are you?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like this, if you guys haven't seen this show, there's magical keys that are in this house that that's the childhood home of their dad, and they've inherited it, um, and they're finding all these keys that do weird things. But the keyholes basically appear on any object or person they can use the key on.
Yeah, and I mean it's yeah, their dad's childhood home. Nobody had lived there since his parents passed away, whenever that was. And it had been being maintained by his younger brother Bodie. But
Duncan,
No, was it Duncan? Yeah,
Bodhi's the
Bodie's a kid.
Bodhi's
Yep,
the
you're
kid.
right. Duncan was the younger brother, and the but this was like a family home. This had been in the home for generations. Um,
We really should say we really should have said this. It's the ancestral home.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's really a cool house. I mean, for a kid, for like they're walking through these rooms, and I'm like, well, how in the hell could I ever use that much space? I don't even use all the space I have. I store stuff in the basement, but I think I go down there once a week for laundry.
Hmm.
And they've got this ridiculous mansion with all kinds of different rooms and things. I think, uh, was it episode 1? Where they're going through and Duncan's explaining the rooms, and Kinsey goes, "Oh, the winter room. You mean the drinking scotch and smoking cigars room?"
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was a funny line. There were a lot of pretty funny lines too, and a guy that I really like too, and I hope we see a lot more of, is this Scott kid.
Yeah, he's pretty great. I also like that. I also like that dude with the fake legs that runs that keys cars and
Oh yeah,
uh, yeah.
the that's
He buys a bottle of whiskey or 6 pack or something for Tyler at some point too.
well I think what he did is when Tyler was walking out with his friends with the beer in his jacket, he told him it was for him,
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, that's right.
and then ended up buying it, and Tyler took off. Um, but I think another really great episode was Head Games, that third episode
Yep.
where they go into that's where they got the head key, but they also found the ghost key, and him meeting his great grandfather was a really cool thing too.
Yeah, and really, I mean, I thought a really cool concept here also was that Kinsey was able to use the head key to bury her fear.
Hmm.
And so then is the beginning of the next episode, like she's talking to her mom and saying all these things to her mom that she was afraid to say before. And also she's able to hang out with Scott now, and she's able to to basically like be a happy-go-lucky, not even happy-go-lucky, but just kind of reckless because she has no fear to temper down her what her usual feelings would be. Um, I think that's a cool concept to be able to go inside your mind and just get rid of some emotion that's bugging you.
I'd get rid of all of them. Just take them all out.
You get rid of the love of your children.
Well, that's probably the only one I would leave in. The rest of them are just baggage. No, I don't know if I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want to remove any of the emotions, but it is still a really cool concept that she goes in there and she fights her own fear and then drags it out and stabs it and buries it in the in what the woods backyard somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, back in the backyard, in the woods in the back. Yeah. I know what emotion I would get rid of. I'd get rid of itchy.
Itchy,
Yeah,
just itchy.
yeah.
Is that even an emotion?
According to Chester, it is.
Itchy.
Please tell, please tell me you watched Syphil and Ollie.
Yes, I did.
Do you know the episode I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, I
Okay.
do. The anywhere, I mean, of the keys that we found so far, we found the anywhere key, which is just amazing. That's one that I would love to have the anywhere key. They found the head key. They found the ghost key, and then the music box key. Are those the only four that they found?
The plant key they
Plant
found.
plant key.
Yeah, that where they went in the backyard and they put it in the tree, and then it had the memories
Oh,
of
Bodhi's memories
Duncan and
or
Rendell.
Duncan's memory. Yeah. Okay. Is that what the plant? Yeah. Okay. They did have that.
Yeah, I think they found like six keys, didn't they? I'm trying to think. So I know there was more than. So they found the anywhere key in the first episode.
I think
The
they
second
told us about a couple others.
no, they found the mirror key and the anywhere key in the first episode. In the second episode, they find the head key. Third episode, they find the ghost key. Fourth episode, they find the music box key and the plant key. So yeah, there's they found six now.
Okay.
But I know they said I know that whoever that bitch was in the well,
Well, the
had told Bodhi there was all kinds of magic keys.
yeah, Echo. They well,
Well, that's
because
what she calls her. That's what she called herself. I don't think that's her actual name. Anyway,
well,
go
I
ahead.
mean, well, that's what she's called throughout, the first five episodes is Echo. So,
Right. Okay.
that's her name as far as I'm concerned. But um, I didn't realize, and I guess it didn't dawn on me, but that one where Echo traveled to the that burned down house, it didn't dawn on me that that was that guy from the opening scene that had
Oh, it
killed
didn't.
himself. No, it
Yeah.
it wasn't until later on that I realized that. But so okay, there's that one. That's what fire key or something like that.
Um, I I don't know. I would assume so.
Because she ended up giving that to Sam in prison,
Right.
whatever that key was.
Yeah, and actually that scene showed her rank ruthlessness too by when she ripped that key off that kid's necklace and then threw him onto the subway so that he could get run over by a subway um, train.
I wonder what was that. That was okay. Yeah, that was the key, the fire key or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you probably know more than I do at this point since I haven't watched the last five episodes. But I mean, it really feels to me like this is one of the situations where she's trying to get revenge for something done wrong to her. So she might be one of those people that, that they're a villain to us, but they might be the hero of their own story.
Well, I mean, and one thing that kept going through my mind is she one of the kids? Remember, there's those three kids that drowned in the well, or
Yeah.
in the caves. You know, is she one of those kids and is coming back for revenge because she wasn't really dead or something? I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, I my feeling has been that she was some kind of a mystical being who was tempting Rendell to do all these evil things, and so he trapped her in the well, and now she's trying to get revenge for being trapped for so long.
Yeah, that's
But
possible.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got 5 more episodes to find out what happens.
Well, I do, you know.
But you know, they I'm trying to remember here. Okay, the plant key in the graveyard. There was an Echo travel. Okay, I'm reading the top three descriptions. Echo travels to the burned down home where the man killed himself with a key as she recovers the undamaged key.
Yeah, I have no idea what that key actually is so far.
I don't know, it made the dude burst into flames. So I'm assuming it's a fire key.
Yeah, that's true. Um, don't remember what I was going to say now. Oh, I mean, I know what I was going to say. I mean, I also like the fact that they've, you know, that even though they have all this stuff going on mystically, they've also taken time to root it in a real setting where, you know, you've got like the usual kind of, you know, you've got the small town, you've got the high school hijinks with, you know, the high school drama and, you know, the lead head cheerleader bitch and then the bully from the other hockey team and that kind of. Although I mean, I wish I picked a real sport, not hockey, but you know, can't have everything.
Well, the one thing about the head cheerleader bitch is why was she hanging out with the Savini squad making a low budget horror movie?
Well, I think she was just trying to get some acting credit or something. I have no idea, but
Her 2 minutes of fame.
yeah, yeah. And she wanted him to put the blood in post production. God, what a moron!
Yeah,
They're
well,
high school kids.
yeah, I like him a lot. He's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. Um,
Scott.
Tyler, yeah, and I like Tyler a lot
Yeah,
too. Kinsey annoys me, and I don't know why. Bodhi is probably the most complex of all the characters.
yeah, yeah. It does annoy me that that Tyler and Kinsey. Well, you know what? Kinsey is annoying, but I do also like the fact that they're that even though you know Kinsey and Tyler annoy each other, they still have that familiar bond going on. You know, you don't see that as well drawn together within 5 episodes of most shows.
You
You
don't
know,
see that in most shows, period. I
where they even though they get annoyed with each other, they know that they can lean on each other even when they're annoyed with each other. You know,
Well, and I mean, if you look at them, Bodhi's probably what, 17, maybe a junior in high school. Kinsey's 16. I mean,
no,
she's
Bodhi's probably like 10.
no, I meant Tyler. I'm sorry. Tyler's 17, probably a
Okay,
junior or senior, and Kinsey's right behind him, and then Bodhi, there's such an age gap. So it's you know, with them being so close in age, um, they're they're going through everything together,
right.
which kind of gives them a little bit better bond. And then they're in this you know, brand new town, brand new school, and all this stuff, and they don't know what's going on, so they're kind of bonding together a little bit. And then when all this key stuff starts happening, and then they also find out that mom doesn't remember the keys, literally after coming out of the mirror.
Well, remember though, Duncan doesn't remember it either. So I mean,
No,
I think it has something to do with adults not being able to remember.
yeah,
I'm not
and
sure why. I'm not sure why Ellie's able to though.
well, and
That's the weird thing.
that's what confuses me too, is maybe Ellie able to use them because she was part, but so was Duncan, so that doesn't make sense.
Unless it has something to do with that weird tattoo thing that she and Rendell both had.
Oh, that scar on their
Yeah,
chest.
yeah.
That's possible. I mean, that's possibly a way that they maybe there's a key that helps you remember the keys. Who knows?
That could be the key to everything.
Nope, the key to everything is the anywhere key.
No, that's the key to everywhere, not everything.
Oh, well, eventually everything she uses it to get everything she wants.
Yeah. But that's the other interesting thing is, we don't know who this chick is. So is it only her that can't take a key by force, or is it anybody can't do it? So do you have to actually, once you're in possession of those keys, do you have to hand it over voluntarily in order for anybody else to be able to use it?
I don't know. Um, well, I do know, but I'm not going to tell you. They they
Well played.
I'm trying to think because he realizes, was it episode 3 when he realized, or was it episode 2? I guess I don't remember when he realized that she can't take them from her. They have to give them to her.
I think it was in episode 4.
Yep, episode 4.
When she had him in that like ring of flame. Yeah, so it must have been a fire key 'cause she had him in that ring of flame. Um,
You know,
where she was trying to scare him into giving her the key.
I never put two and two together. I mean, I know she grabbed that key off that kid's neck, and I know she gave him a key later. I never, while watching that entire episode, it never dawned on me that that was the key that where the man killed himself in the first scene, and then, um, she gave that key to Sam. So it didn't dawn on me that that's what really happened or that she even had that. So yeah, I'm guessing but it does look like that key does something because like I said, it lit that Mark guy on fire.
Right. And I still
Uh,
feel bad, and I know I already mentioned it, but I still feel bad about that kid getting run over by the subway car.
well, yeah, but that shows what kind of an evil bitch she is.
It does, and the other thing is like her his friends would never be able to. They could say all they want what happened. Nobody's ever going to believe them.
Right. Some lady came out of nowhere, grabbed something off his chest, threw him into a subway car, and then disappeared.
Right. Since there are no subway cars anywhere near the town where they were in.
Right. Yeah, there's it. I don't know. I like the first 5 episodes a lot. I thought it was really well done. I like the character work. I like the story. I like everything about it.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Literally, literally everything about it. I mean, there's nothing that's happened so far that isn't intriguing and making me want to watch next week just to see, watch the rest just to see what happens. Which
Yeah.
is probably why I just watched it all at one time.
Yeah, I wanted to keep watching it, but I thought we were only doing the first 5, and so I stopped. So
Oh, no.
yeah.
It's worth it. I think,
Oh,
the
I'm going
first
to watch them. Don't worry.
well, yeah, because we have to finish talking about them, and I can't wait until you do because there's so much that happens, especially in the last 5 episodes that I want to just talk about. But um, I don't want to ruin it for you either. But you can definitely, now that you mention that's Stephen King's son, you can definitely get the Stephen King vibe out of it. There
Yeah.
is there is a real Stephen King vibe because when I first started watching it and it was almost kind of like Harry Potter-ish, but not Harry Potter-ish. But now that you mentioned Stephen King, it has a lot of the same influences that, in pretty much every book he ever wrote. Where
If you go,
it's got the bad the bad scary person that kind of is um, mystical. It's got, the secret portals that only kids can understand. It's almost like watching It, to be honest, a modern It.
have you do you I can't remember. Do you have Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, because I show you may have missed last fall. That's also based on a Joe Hill property called Nosferatu. It's NOS4 the number 8 and then or no I'm sorry and it's NOS4 A as an apple 2 Nosferatu. And it is on Hulu right now. and it's like the first season of a longer epic. They took a novel and they turned it into not just one season but multiple seasons.
So
So,
kind of like we wish they would have done more so with the Watchmen.
except for the Watchmen was a follow up from another was a follow up, whereas this is actually it's supposed to be it's actually different than the book, but it's supposed to be it's supposed to be an adaptation. So. I mean, I know you don't read very much, but otherwise I'd recommend the book to you because the book is absolutely phenomenal. But since I know you're not gonna read the book, even though if I tell you to,
Yeah.
I'd give
Does
that show a shot.
does the book have moving pictures and subtitles?
It's written well enough that you can see the pictures move in your mind as you're reading.
Nos for A2.
Yes, Nosferatu.
Joe Hill's New York Times best-selling novel.
There you go.
Season 1, Episode 1. Hey, maybe I'll watch this before next time, or next in 2 weeks when we cover the rest of it.
Well, I won't be covering that one because I still have to get caught up on that one with my wife, but
Yeah, I'm gonna end up watching this too because
you should.
I
It's great.
really if what he did here with this, if this is an adaptation of his work, if they do that half as good, I'm gonna enjoy it because this was well done.
Yeah, and the other great thing about that show is that it's got um, I'm trying to think of his name now as the villain. The guy that was Spock in the most recent Star Trek shows, and he was also the lead villain in Heroes.
Yeah, Zach. Um,
Zach Quinto, yeah,
yep.
Zachary Quinto, yeah, and he's excellent. He's excellent as the villain. So
Oh, he's great in everything he does.
yeah,
He was in American Horror Story too.
he was absolutely.
Was the serial killer in the second season? Was um, one of the ghosts in the first season? He's an excellent actor.
Yes, he is. So that was another thing. I looked at that. I was like, I was happy it was happening, but then when I saw that he was playing the lead role, the lead villain role, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
God, I really wish Heroes hadn't ended so badly.
Heroes was one of the shows, maybe the most prominent show that got crippled by that writer's strike that was happening at that
Yeah,
same time.
and Peter losing all of his powers really killed that show.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think that would have happened if the writers hadn't gone down a weird path in the second season based on the writer's strike happening.
Well, it was a second or third, or it was only a 10 episode season, and they kind of came back with they had to quick throw together a finale, and it just didn't work. And then I don't know. I think that show, I loved the first season. I loved the
Hmm.
second season. The third season is when it jumped the shark. That was when Peter lost his powers. Um,
Yeah, and then when they brought it back for that one year, it wasn't as good either. So
mm-mm.
no,
No,
that
it really wasn't.
no, the first season was a phenomenal was a truly was actually a phenomenon was a phenomenon and was great storytelling and had you anticipating every episode what was going to happen next.
I put
So
that right up there with Dexter and Sopranos as my three favorite first seasons of any ever.
really,
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that.
Dexter to me was almost the perfect first season, except for the last episode was rushed, which usually happens when there's a 10 episode season. Um, and the first season of The Sopranos just made me want to watch more.
I mean, I guess I'd have to really think about that. But I don't know. Did you ever watch The Shield or Justified?
I no, I haven't gotten into those yet.
Yeah, so that might be why I'm not able to agree with you.
I
So
have I have so many TV shows. Like I literally looked at my Netflix account and just my Netflix. We're not talking Hulu or Amazon or Disney or any of this stuff. If I just watch my Netflix queue, I will be watching TV until I'm 74.
um, can I tell you what the last lines of the first season of Justified are?
Sure.
You're not going to shoot me. You're not going to shoot me. You're out of ammo. You want to bet your life on that? No, Raylan. I'm about my life on you being the very last on you being the last friend I have left in this world. And then he walks away.
That's another one too that I- is another unbelievably great first season um, that Timothy Olyphant was in.
Yeah, I love
W-
Justified.
No, Westwood
Oh, Westwood? Yeah.
on that
No, no,
Showtime.
no. Deadwood.
Deadwood on Showtime was just
HBO.
ab was it HBO or Showtime? I can't remember, I
HBO.
guess. But that was another one that was just an unbelievably great first season.
Yeah, it was.
And so was the first
It,
season
it,
of
it,
Shameless, now that I think about it. It seems like they hit home runs on first seasons.
it's weird that yeah, I mean, Deadwood is weird to me because I love season one, I love season two, and then season three I just cannot get through.
Oh, season three was brutal. And now they've got the movie trying to wrap it all up.
Hmm.
And I just haven't gotten the time or, taken the energy to watch the movie. But the first two seasons of Deadwood were amazing. That third season was just garbage.
Oh, you know what? We're on our pop culture show, so let's bring this up too. Did you see what they announced? Did you see what was announced this weekend for HBO Max?
No.
The Zack Snyder cut of Justice League is going
Oh,
to be they're adding they're doing a 20 they're doing a budget of $20 million to bring the actors back and film some more scenes for it.
I thought he
And then
was refusing to do that.
nope,
I thought
they're
he,
doing they're doing it.
because I thought there was an article that literally he was refusing to come back and do a director's cut because he was so upset at the way it was the way that it was portrayed anyway.
Well, guess what? Money changes things.
Well, yeah, the 20 million, I'll do it.
So it's either it's either it's rumored to it's definitely happening, and it's take about a year to get everything together. So it'll be sometime in 2021, and so spring summer 2021, something like that. And it's either going to be a 4 hour movie or 6 1 hour episodes.
Well, you've got to do it as a
Now
movie.
it's not going to be. Now, I want to caution that it's not going to be his original vision of it because that would mean they were setting up for two more movies after it, and that's not going to happen. But it'll be as close to his vision as what they can do.
They've already canceled the two extra movies.
Yes.
Did they cancel everything? Like the
Uh,
Flash movie and all that stuff too?
no, they still have the Flash movie going on. They still have two more Wonder Womans coming up. They have the Batman, but they don't have any Justice League pictures on the way.
Oh, well, that sucks because I actually really enjoyed Justice League.
I know you did. It was okay.
I
But
mean,
I,
it,
but I,
it
but I,
wasn't
but I, but I, but after hearing like what Zack Snyder's actual vision for it was, I would rather have seen that than what they did.
it wasn't Avengers quality, but how could it be when you really only had two established characters? I mean, because everybody else, Wonder Woman made her debut in Batman versus Superman, and then she didn't have her solo movie until after Justice League. Aquaman had his after Justice League, and we still haven't seen the Flashes.
Well,
So
well, well, well. My big problem with Justice League was that the first half of the movie was how do we resurrect Superman?
well,
You know,
that's what
and that's what the Zack Snyder cut is going to fix.
that's what I'm saying is that they, instead of having their origin stories beforehand and then coming together for a full-length movie, we spent the first half of the movie hunting down his team and bringing Superman back instead of devoting that to separate movies. That bringing Superman back could have been easily done as end credit scenes like they did with Superman, or like they did with the Marvel universe, instead of devoting the entire first half of a movie to it.
Right, but they had to do it that way in this movie because they had Joss Whedon rewrite what Zack Snyder had done and refilm like 20% of the movie. And then they just reworked the other stuff they already had filmed. Whereas the original idea was for Superman to be resurrected by Darkseid and be evil for the first like half of the movie.
Now, see, that wouldn't have been bad.
No, and I think that's what they're going to. I think that's what we're gonna see next year with Zack Snyder's cut.
That actually would have made a whole lot more sense than what happened, because he
Yeah.
was he was evil for like a week and a half.
And do you remember how Steppenwolf kept saying "mother" when he was talking to the mother boxes?
Yep.
Yeah, there was a subplot that was dropped that his mother was actually trapped in those mother boxes, and that's why he kept saying mother.
Oh, oh God.
Yeah.
So
So
it was a whole lot more of a wreck than it should have been.
exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna see the best version, the best now possible version of what should have happened.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. I don't understand dropping those movies. I don't understand why you would put that kind of a big budget together and then have a fight with the director and then cancel the movies. You still should be doing Justice League 2 and Justice League 3.
well, and if they have to get a different writer to do it, or Joss Whedon, maybe Joss Whedon could have done a second one and fixed all the problems with the first one. I mean,
Yeah,
the problem with DC is that they've never really committed. They committed to the original Batmans, they committed to the original Supermans, but then they took so much time off of them, and now all of a sudden they want to bring them back, but they're not committed to it. They're not committed to the long haul. They're not committed to building these characters up, making us love them like we did with Iron Man and Thor and, you know, uh, now they're doing with Doctor Strange and everybody else. They throw out a movie, they go, okay, now we're gonna do a super movie instead of
yeah,
getting us to invest in these characters over five, six, seven movie or the course of 5, 6 years to build up to a movie. They just jump right into the big time movie.
yeah. And and they need to plan things out better and they need to sign actors to contracts that are longer than 2 or 3 movies at a time.
Well, or they need to maybe bring the TV shows into the movie universe because they've got such great character work on these TV shows. It wouldn't have been hard to bring some of these guys into the actual like Grant Gustin, is it,
Yes.
to do the Flash instead of bringing in somebody brand new.
True, but I'm saying like they've had to sign Robert Pattinson to be Batman now because they decided that Affleck was no longer good for the role. They only had Henry Cavill signed to a three picture deal. So now that he did Man of Steel, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, now there's no longer a Superman. Things like that. It's just ridiculous.
No vision with DC.
No.
It's almost like they feel like the characters just sell themselves.
Yeah, and if he wasn't now going to be part of Marvel, I would sign Christian Bale again and just say, okay, the Robert Pattinson Batman is happening outside of this current continuity, but now we have the Christian Bale Batman back along with these other established characters.
And who was
You know,
what's he doing? What's Christian Bale doing with Marvel?
he's going to be the Heavy in the next Thor movie.
Oh, I don't like it.
I do, except because I think he'd make a great Malekith, but they've already have a Malekith, so I don't know
Right.
who's going to actually play. I'm thinking he might end up playing Cole Borson.
I don't know. He needs a much bigger role than that.
Not if he's the top villain in the show. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see who it is, or he could be Dario Agger too.
Unless they recast Malekith.
Yeah, the guy that played Malekith is really good too. I just can't think of his name. It's the same guy that played the King of the Elves in the Hobbit movies.
I never saw the Hobbit movies.
That hurts my heart.
Well, nothing will beat Lord of the Rings, so I just didn't even watch them.
No, and but I do think that the first Hobbit movie, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, I think it's called, is an actual absolutely perfect motion picture.
Oh, well, maybe I'll throw it in my Netflix queue and get to it by the time I'm 71.
It's not going to be. It's not on Netflix, I don't think.
Well, then I'll get to it when I'm 78.
But guess what it will be on?
HBO Max,
That's correct.
which I also have a subscription for, and 47 damn TV shows I gotta watch.
Yeah, I'm not getting HBO Max yet. I'll get it. I'll get it when there's something on there that I want to watch.
I've got it
Um,
uh, because I think you told me, I don't know, I guess I haven't really looked into it, so I'm hoping I get it, but supposedly the HBO Now that I have is is going to be HBO Max.
What I've seen is that most AT&T customers will get it automatically rolled over to them.
Okay,
So
so because I have, free HBO on my TV and I have HBO Now, it'll just roll over and I'll have HBO Max.
yeah, the bad thing though is that they don't have a distribution deal with Roku, Comcast, or Amazon Fire yet, so you won't be able to watch it on your Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh, but I'm sure they have a contract and an app with the Google Play Store, so I'll get it on there and watch like I do every other one of my streaming apps on my stupid phone.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to get it yet because until they have a Roku app, there's no point in me getting it. So
Pretty much all of my wrestling, I think there's only three wrestling apps I can actually watch on Amazon. The rest of them I have to watch on my phone.
that's sad.
Impact, WWE, and New Japan. That's it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Ring of Honor's not on there. Well, we're not doing WWN anymore, are we?
I have still have not canceled it, but we have not done anything on there in months. I keep
Has it?
forgetting to cancel it.
Well, it's the same thing with New Japan. It's like we haven't even looked at New Japan since March. Um,
No, but they did announce today that the state of emergency has been lifted in Japan, so we might start getting like empty arena shows for New Japan soon.
in Japan, but we're still not, they did cancel the one in August, didn't they? The one that was coming to New York.
I don't think I've seen an official cancel.
I
I
think
mean,
they,
I'm not going to say no, but I haven't seen the official cancellation for it if they have.
and from the sounds of it, All Out is already planning on an empty stadium. I guess with this whole virus thing, we're in phase two of a 5-year of a 5-phase reopen. And it's not till phase five before they start allowing concerts and audiences at sporting events and things like that.
Yeah, they announced the date for All Out. They did not announce a location. My suspicion is it cannot happen in Chicago this year because the governor of Illinois has announced that until there is a vaccine or there are no new cases of the virus at all, there will not be any gatherings of more than 50 people in the state of Illinois.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the same thing everywhere. I mean, Florida's kind of in the same boat. I mean, they're reopening and allowing them to shoot live occasionally. Georgia, same thing, but they're not, they're still not allowing gatherings of more than, 10, 15 people.
Yeah, but it pisses me off because I wanted to keep my tradition going.
Yeah, well, this is unavoidable.
You're unavoidable.
I am unavoidable. You know what else was unavoidable? Watching the last 5 episodes of this show.
I will try to.
No, I'm not kidding you. It was so good by the time I got done with episode 5. I was sitting here thinking too as I'm watching it going, I think he wanted to stop at 5. And I'm like, ah, fuck it, it's good. I'm going with it. I'm just gonna
Why
keep
didn't
watching.
why didn't you tell me so I could watch the other
Well,
five?
because I didn't remember because it was so long ago that we talked about it that I didn't really remember, and I thought we'd talked about since then, just since it was only 10 episodes, just getting it done. It was only 10 episodes, and it wasn't as complex as The Watchmen was supposed to be. So we were just gonna cruise through it and get it done. But regardless, at the end of episode 5, I had to watch more, and I'm glad
Okay,
I did because uh, little preview 6, 7, 8, and 9 really pick up. 10 is good for what it was, but it is clearly a Stephen King story. It
it's not Stephen
has
King. It's his son. It's his son.
it has so many Stephen King um, influences in the ending of this.
Fair enough. Um, yeah. So maybe in a couple weeks we can pick up on the other five.
Yeah,
So
2 weeks. I might rewatch them too because I know now that I realized what I missed in episode 4 with the fire key. I might want to rewatch these last 5 anyway, just to see what I missed.
perfect.
But I mean, you're in for a treat. The next 4 episodes are great. The tenth episode it did something different. Normally with these 10 episode seasons, we say this about every one of them we've ever covered. Jessica Jones, perfect example. It's great, it's well paced, good acting all the way through. Then that final episode is just smashed all together. Um, and this didn't have that feeling. I never once felt like everything in the final episode was rushed. It took its time, it paced out, it finished the season, and now they're already saying that they've got season two on the way.
Right.
So it finished the season with an appropriate cliffhanger that made you go, "Holy shit! Now I got to watch to find out where this goes." It's well done. It's really well done. It's not, and that was the one thing I was worried about. Whenever I look and I see a 10 episode season, I'm like, "Oh, great! I'm gonna love this for about eight of them." Uh, but no, this one, all nine were great. The 10th one was well done. I have some questions, let's put it that way. There's a couple of questions I have at the end of it, and I'm thinking you'll probably have similar questions when you get done with it.
But maybe that's okay because maybe they can answer them in the second season.
They're gonna have to because the questions are so like you'll see. I don't want to ruin it.
Okay.
But well, okay, so we'll cover that one next time. And guys, sorry, I'm kind of fumbling through this. I didn't have my normal energy for this because, to be honest, I was trying not to give up the ending. Um, but this is great. I love the first five episodes. I love the whole thing. Um, and I guess we'll see what Shane's thoughts are next time we talk about it.
Absolutely. So so in 2 weeks we'll be back with another YouTube show about Lock and Key season one, part two. Until then, especially this time of COVID, make sure you take care of yourselves, take care of everybody else out there, take care of your friends, take care of your family, take care of yourselves out there in the really real world. Remember, nothing is trivial, and it's never goodbye. It's just until next time.
Well, it's not goodbye yet because I still have to tell you all to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell for this here YouTube channel that you're listening to this on. And be sure to check out our Patreon page as well. It's patreon.com/Kingdom of Honor. We do a lot of wrestling talk on there. We do, two live shows every week for independent wrestling and not sports entertainment. And then we do an exclusive Patreon only show every so often, and then we throw a pop culture one here on YouTube. So be sure to go everywhere we go. Twitter, you can follow me at Regi Co-op. You can follow him at ZanmanLOP. And you can use the hashtag DAD and the hashtag KOH. That'll get you pretty much everything.
There you go.
So now it is time for goodbye.